How do I know if I have a drinking problem? Let's talk about it. What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to my channel, Joy Speaks, a channel where we have thought-provoking conversations around communities that don't necessarily have a voice. Usually we're talking about the recovery community. And when I say recovery community, I'm referring to those who are struggling with substance abuse or alcohol issues, or those who know people who are struggling with substance abuse or alcohol issues, because we know that it's not just the addict or alcoholic who has a problem. There's also the family and the community that surrounds that person that's also equally as affected. So today I want to provide a little bit of clarity, and let me just start off by saying that I cannot diagnose anyone as an addict or an alcoholic. All we're talking about today are some things to look out for in your own life that could potentially mean that there's some work to do around alcoholism or addiction, right? So first things first, let me start off with, is your drinking or is your partying affecting your work, right? Are you showing up to work late? Are you showing up to work inebriated? Are you showing up to work so tired and so hungover from the night before that you're not able to live in your highest potential in the workplace? That might be a problem, right? Maybe. Just something to look at, right? Next, do you find yourself in disagreements or fighting with a lot of other people when you are under the influence? I got to raise my hand because that was definitely me. I was always getting into fights. Sometimes the fights, were about a disagreement that I had with someone. Sometimes the fights were me jumping in and other people's business. But 9 times out of 10, there was going to be some sense or some kind of disagreement happening as I was under the influence, right? And you don't necessarily want to party and fight, right? That's that kind of counterintuitive nature that we talk about when it comes to alcoholism or addiction, right? We're trying to have a good time, but then we always wind up fighting, right? And we all know that one person that we say, don't give him or her any dark liquor because they're going to end up fighting. That was me, right? So that's a way to tell that you might have a problem. If every time you're out at the club, out at a party, whatever, you're finding yourself in fights with people. Now, here's the second thing when it comes to your social life, right? Like, are you able to go out and have a good time without partying, without drinking, without using any substances? This is a big one. And I can tell you guys, I was not going out. I wasn't hitting the club. I wasn't hitting a function. I wasn't hitting a party unless I had party favors and alcohol. I couldn't even fathom going out and socializing, and that's why they call alcohol the social lubricant, right? I couldn't even fathom going out and, quote unquote, enjoying myself without being under the influence. That was a foreign idea for me, right? And so if you find that every time you go out, you find that you have to have some kind of substance, whether it's alcohol or something harder, that might be something that you have to look at, right? That might be, one of the signs that there's potentially some alcoholism or addiction running within you, right? Next, is your drinking affecting, and when I say drinking, we can use that interchangeably with using, right? So if your thing isn't alcohol, it's harder substances, then just replace the word drinking with using, right? But is your drinking or using affecting your physical health, right? Are you drinking to the point where you have to vomit, right? If you're vomiting every single time that you drink, and let's just say you drink every single weekend, the acids from vomiting, they ruin your digestive tract, right? So Prolonged drinking and vomiting will ruin the lining in your esophagus and potentially other parts of your body, right? So you want to think about that, because a lot of people think, having to vomit is something that's normal, but that's not normal, right? Our bodies are not designed to constantly be, vomiting, especially all the acidic liquids that are in our stomach. They're not meant to be forced up and out. And so the next thing is, are you missing out on time or the day because you are bedridden and hungover, right? Here's another example. So you go out to the club Friday night, right? You have all these plans for the weekend, but you end up, going so hard on Friday night that you can't even get up to go, grab some food Saturday morning because you're that hungover. You got the head spins, you feel like you're going to vomit at any second. All you can do is stay in one spot. And so now you're spending that entire potentially day and night being completely unproductive, right? And more than likely in a lot of physical discomfort or pain. So if you find that you are, having a good time on Friday night, but then you're completely out of touch and disconnected and immobile Saturday and Sunday, I think that that's something to look at. That could be a sign that there are some, substance abuse, addiction, or alcoholism happening within you. The next thing is have your kidneys and have your liver checked. Okay, these organs are designed to be, filtration systems for our body. And these organs are not made to filter out, toxins like alcohol and substances on a daily basis, right? Like our kidneys are supposed to filter out, normal things that we eat and drink, not substances. So imagine for a prolonged period, your body, your kidneys, your liver are filtering out, working triple time, trying to cleanse your body of all these poisons that you're putting in. Your kidneys and your liver will end up failing. And, severe damage to the liver is called cirrhosis, right? And we see a direct link between people with cirrhosis and alcohol, and also people with cirrhosis and active addiction. Kidney failure is another huge one, because while we're partying, while we're doing all these substances, and while we're doing all this drinking, right, we are not drinking water, right? So our kidneys are working overtime, right? Trying to filter out all this liquid, all this liquor, all this alcohol, all these poisons, right? That our bodies are not typically designed to do, right? So go get checked up, right? That's super, super important. Check on your kidneys, check on your liver. And here's the thing, don't wait on it, right? Because if you catch things in the earlier stage, right, the chances are much more likely that you'll have some sense of relief. All right. Here's the last sign. Here's the last sign that you can tell or you can use to kind of, figure out if you have a problem. Try to stop drinking or using for 30 days. Just try it. Try to stop for 30 days. If you are not an alcoholic, if you are not an addict, then stopping for 30 days or any amount of time won't be a problem for you, right? I dare you, give it a shot, right? If you feel uncomfortable, if the idea of you not picking up a drink or a substance for 30 days makes you feel anxious, there might be something that we need to look at, right? Because someone who has no dependence on alcohol or any substances would have absolutely no issue stopping, right? And this is how, those of us who are already in the recovery community, we know that we can identify as an addict or an alcoholic because we are incapable of stopping, right? That's how I know, right, that I have this this affliction of addiction and alcoholism, because once I start, it's on and it ain't no stopping. And if I run out, I'm gonna go get some more, right? And I'm gonna go and go and go until my body gives out, right? If that sounds familiar to you, welcome. There is hope. Right? So I'm gonna just run down the list again one more time, right? These are the ways that you can tell that you might have a drinking or a substance abuse problem. Number one, is your drinking or partying affecting your work? Are you showing up late for work? Are you showing up hungover? Are you showing up in a state where you are not able to live in your highest potential and perform and execute your regular duties? Next, is your drinking affecting your social life? Are you finding yourself in fights? Are you finding yourself in conflict every time you drink? Are you that one friend that once you start getting lit, nobody wants to be around you anymore because you change into a different person? That's a sign. That might be something you need to look at. Next, are you missing out? Is your partying or drinking affecting your physical health, right? Are you vomiting way too much, right? Are you losing time away from your loved ones, away from your life, because you're too busy hungover and recuperating and bedridden, right? That you can't function, right? Are you partying so hard on Friday night that Saturday and Sunday, nobody can get a hold of you because you're too busy trying to get back to normal? That's an issue, right? Are you having liver problems? Are you having kidney problems? Are you having skin problems? Are you having any physical ailments that you're deciding to not look at, right? Because you'd rather be in a space of denial, right? These are all telltale signs of active addiction, right? Are there areas in our life that are becoming unmanageable? Are we becoming unable to function at work? Are we unable to sustain lasting, healthy connections in our social life? And is our physical life, or is our physical wellness, right, becoming, affected by our daily use, right? Hope this answers some questions for you guys. I hope this gives you a little bit of understanding as far as identifying with being an addict or an alcoholic. You guys, let me know what you think. We are on our quest to 500 subscribers. So please, you guys, please do me a big favor. I really want to grow my channel. Hit the like button, hit the share button, but most importantly, hit subscribe. It costs you absolutely nothing to subscribe to my channel, right? Thank you. I love you guys, and I'll see you on the next one.